tremendous year. After all of that, in the BMW and all that, I'm thinking, what am I doing? Why am I involved in social service and working with homeless families with children? But I congratulate all of you. I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because apparently our DVD that was put together didn't. What happened to our DVD?
It just sorry.
Yeah, it's not.
The link was disabled this afternoon, and we wouldn't have. There's no sound anyways, but the link that they had sent from their end said that it had been deleted on Amazon.
Yeah, not our end because we didn't make it. But okay, we can.
Well, Mary Ellen, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
All
We
right.
didn't say this earlier, but I mentioned that what we'll do is we will make sure that we attach links to all three of these organizations because they all had information that we weren't able to get across based on sound. Anything that we have, including the video of the presentation, we'll get out to you because we don't want anybody to be at a disadvantage. We want everybody to get full information. So
Okay.
sorry about that, Mary Ellen.
That's all right.
Thank you so much.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, who here has heard anything about the Interfaith Homeless Network? Raise your hands. All right. Yes, that's always encouraging. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know who we are, I'm Mary Ellen Galloway, and I'm the Executive Director of the Interfaith Homeless Network, and I've been the Executive Director for 13 years. Our goal is to help homeless families become stable, employed, housed, and self-sufficient. And we do that every day, every night of the year, 365. We don't stop at anything. And we do that in partnership with 51 area congregations. These congregations work with us to provide overnight lodging for the families. And during the day, we provide a day shelter where the families can come and have meals and do their laundry and receive educational programs, and where babies can take naps and children can play inside and out. And families can access the internet so that they can find employment and housing. So we also have educational programs there. We have parenting and consumer education classes like financial management, working on your GED if anybody wants to do that. We have nutrition and shopping on a budget and cooking on a budget, as well as a Bible study class for anybody that might want to participate in that. So every day we are at our new location, 1184 Baldwin Street, which is our new Family Day Center, and that's where I work as the Executive Director. We have another full-time employee, Ruth Votava, who is our administrative assistant, and a part-time caseworker. So there's three of us, and we have a pretty small budget of $170,000. So we do a lot of work with volunteers. So I'm really encouraged that all of you are here because I guarantee you I have a volunteer opportunity for all of you and all of your friends. Seriously though, we do have a lot of volunteer opportunities. We need people to come down and help us do things like read to the children, play with the kids. Come down and do a craft with our moms. Maybe have an event for the kids, maybe a DVD and a pizza event on a Saturday or a Sunday or during the week sometime. Need help doing things like painting, real mundane things like helping us clean the kitchen and the refrigerators and the counters and all of that stuff and organize everything. Keep in mind, we will be happy for you to share all of your talents with us. So that's a couple of things. Other things that we need help with are, honestly, again, mundane, shampooing our carpets and working outside, landscaping. We've got a very nice yard and very nice landscaping, but it needs a lot of work. So we have a website, ihnChattanooga.org. You can find all kinds of things that we need help with. Also, ways to volunteer. You can actually go online and fill out an application. It comes to me directly, and I'll be happy to look it over and match you with the existing volunteer opportunities. But I know that y'all want to work in a group, and that you got some days lined up, and so we'll accommodate whatever time frame that you have or dates that you have that you may want to come and volunteer with us, okay? Beyond the overnight shelter and beyond the day shelter for homeless families with children, we are the centralized location in Chattanooga for homeless families with children to come and access information. So if you're a homeless family and maybe you need assistance finding shelter, or you might need assistance finding emergency money, maybe your lights are about to be turned off, or you're about to be evicted. Most of the calls we get come from 211, and we have a caseworker there whose job it is either to greet the families as they come into the day center, or to help them over the telephone to figure out what exactly their needs are. Now, sure enough, people will call us and say, we need shelter, we need permanent housing. And of course, that's certainly something that people need. But we also know that many times there are other issues, other barriers that are interfering with people's success to stay housed and employed. So we want to do an intake, which is a social work term, for basically taking a look at somebody and seeing what's going on in their life. We ask a lot of questions about medical things and mental health things and employment and child issues, all those kinds of things, and then connect these families securely with existing community resources. So we're not there to develop anything new. We're there to identify the need and connect them to the existing community resources. And we do that every single day. Last year, we had over 400 families making contact with us for services. And between, I don't know if you saw this article. Did you see this article, Homelessness in Children, the Times Free Press article? Maybe not. I've got a bunch of them here. Oh, you did see it? Okay, good. I have a bunch of these and I'll share them with you. And it was a pretty sobering article about the impact of homelessness on children. And one of the things that it brought up was between 2009 and 2010, there was a 51% increase in family homelessness in Chattanooga area. Okay, 51%. And that information came from the point in time count done by the Homeless Coalition. And there's other interesting facts in there as well. But I want you to know that the face of these homeless families looks like your face, and your face, and the face of your family, and the face of your friends. Any of us could be one or two paychecks away from homelessness ourselves. There are people that have lost their jobs. There are people that have families that are broken up. There are people that are ill. People that are working, but they're not making a living wage. In other words, the gap between what they're making and what they can afford to live in is really great, and they end up sliding into homelessness. We see many, many more people. Here's my little minutes. Okay, I'm all right. Many more people, unfortunately, and you know this because you're in real estate, the foreclosures that take place. So we do our work every day. We're small but mighty. We use volunteers. Every year we use about 5,000 volunteers in our congregations every night. We have 2 churches that help us out and 2 synagogues that help us out. And so what they do is provide that overnight shelter for the families and the meals for the families. While the families get that, during the day they come down to our day center and are helped to find employment and housing. So let me stop there and just ask, does anybody have any questions that they might want to ask about this? Questions? Questions? Yes?
I have a comment.
Okay.
I hope everybody understands how this works, because I chaired it at our church, at the Church of the Good Shepherd, and these families literally go from church to church every week until Mary Ellen is able to find them housing or they get back on their feet. But it is an incredible, incredible organization, and what she does is keep children off the street every night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think, one of the things that makes us a little bit unique is that we also serve underserved homeless populations. And that is single dads that have children and 2-parent families. We sometimes think only of the single moms with children, and that's of course a large number and a concern for certain, and we serve them as well. But there are these underserved groups. There are these dads with kids. There are these two-parent families with children that don't have a home. So we also serve them as well.
Tell them how many denominations and churches are involved.
There are 51 area congregations and synagogues. We've got every denomination, Episcopals, we've got the Catholics and the Baptists and Unitarian and synagogues and United Methodist Church, Presbyterian churches. I don't think there's a group we don't have. Yes.
So I was like, a few years ago, I was affiliated with a little bit this help, but
Which church were you with or synagogue?
well, I live on Lookout, and so I was the Catholic Church and the Good Shepherd
Yeah.
do it. I go to the Presbyterian Church; they don't do it right
Mhm.
now. But I was really impressed with it, and you rotate. I mean, like I want to make that clear. The homeless families, like a husband, a wife, and 3 kids, they are homeless, and they go to this church and spend the night, and y'all arrange that, coordinate that, and
We
then
do.
like they'll stay at a church for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, and then they move to the next church. And a friend of mine took her family to have dinner with him one night at, I think, the Catholic church on
Mhm.
Lookout Mountain.
Lookout
And the
Mountain.
children, the boys were like, those boys were, they didn't even realize that they were homeless when they just thought,
Yeah.
well, they were going to, they didn't
Well, that's
But
the
it's
funny
families.
thing. That's the funny thing because we've had that. Now I'm glad you brought that up. It's an interesting comment because we've had that happen before, where we've had our volunteers from the community come in and they bring their children, and we've got our interfaith families are there with their children, and then you've got the volunteers and their children, and you just look at a whole group of folks having fun. Maybe kids are playing games or what have you, and the bottom line is, who knows who's homeless and who's not? And I mean, really, that's the thing about the whole face of homelessness is, I think what we think of when we think of homelessness is we think of that man or that woman maybe down on East 11th Street walking back and forth, or maybe you bump into them, somebody that's asking you for money downtown. Those are typically single men and single women, and unfortunately have a lot of mental health issues or substance abuse issues. That is not who we serve. We serve homeless families with children and adolescents. So just to make that clarification. And
Last question.
I
One
have
more question?
no more numbers.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
I assume you qualify for some kind of federal funds or state
We
funds?
do.
or
We are
county?
we're funded through donations from foundations and individuals, and through HUD, from the Emergency Shelter Grant, and from the Community Development Block Grant. Yes, we have diverse income streams. Yes, thank you for that question. That's a good one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.